This is the 27th annual Pasadena Chalk Festival, and we're here over the two-day Father's Day weekend at Paseo, Colorado, in the heart of the Civic Center in Pasadena. 600 artists are coming from all over Southern California to be here to make beautiful murals over the two-day weekend.
Chalk art is enjoyable because you get to make it on a large scale or a small scale, and here at the Chalk Walk Festival I'm able to do my art on a large scale, and my art is very important to me and inspires me because it's faith-based. The piece that I'm creating is a picture of ladybugs, a bunch of ladybugs, and I was inspired by the Bible verse, Psalms 148, which says, "Let all things praise the Lord."
So this is actually my fiancée, Sarah Zavala, which is the lady next to me. The day that I proposed to her, this was her face after I asked her if she would marry me. A lot of people have been thinking that it's a political figure, but no, it's just her. It wasn't a political figure or anything.
My family and friends make fun of me when I'm doing like skin colors. I'll use like 15 colors just in the skin. There's yellows, pinks, greens, blues, and the tans and browns and white. So there's countless. I went through so many like chalk pastels today. It's crazy.
It's a lot different than creating traditional art because you have to be on the ground and you have to really get involved with it. You have to really like blend and just, it's a lot harder, but it's more fun because you're more interacting with your art.
So the piece that I have today is I actually did Captain Marvel. I wanted to do woman empowerment to let people my age know that women can have power and that we can be just as strong too and equal.
Gritting is so important. I was so stubborn to do it at first because I'm like, oh no, I'm better than that. I don't need to, cheat. But gritting really helps get proportions right and it helps really see things because when it's at such a scale, you don't really catch because you're down here, you're in it, and then you stand up and you're like, oh, it's wonky. But gritting helps like keep that. And then another thing is laying out a background. It doesn't seem like it would help as much as it does, but it helps keep your fingers safe. Like my fingers are so raw, and especially on like raw concrete, it would be so much worse.
I use powdered chalk. I grind it up with like a hammer. You hit it with a hammer and then you mix water with it. The good part about it is that I don't have to use my fingers or anything. Since I did use water and powdered chalk, I only used a paintbrush. So I've been doing this since 2011, so most of the time I've been using my fingers, and it actually like tears like layers of your skin off. So your fingers are sore for a week or two. So this is actually nice that my hands don't suffer from it.
It's literally thousands and thousands of spectators. It's crazy. What's great about them being here at Paseo, Colorado, that they can go have an ice cream or go see a movie or go have lunch and then come back out, look at their favorite murals and see how they progressed. So, and it's interesting because the artists get to talk to the spectators, but it's a distinct kind of art form. We like to think of it like a dance or music. It's there while you experience it, and then it's in your memory and it goes away. So it's a temporal art form. That's what makes it unique.
Well, I am so excited to be here at Chalk Fest. It is a beautiful event, simply because you're surrounded by so much art and talent. As someone who likes to dress up and support the arts as Doodah Queen, I am very excited to have so much of the community come out. And a lot of people don't realize that the Lightbringer project that supports and creates this amazing experience, the Chalk Fest, also is behind Lit Fest and the Doodah Parade, where I am your queen, classy but sassy. And I will tell you, coming to these events is very important. I just found out from one local business owner that this is one of the largest days of the year that he has for business. So I hope all of you can come out to the Chalk Fest and vote. Don't forget, you get to be part of the judging committee that determines who our winners are today.
For the last several years, we've had upwards of 600. This is the largest of all ever. In 2010, it was growing so big, we wondered, if this is the biggest one in the world of all the street painting festivals, so we applied for the Guinness Book of World Records, and they actually adjudicated it, and they gave us the rules, and they had to determine that it was the largest, and they actually literally have to have a picture of each mural and a measuring stick, and have to have judges go around and testify that it was done on the site at the same time. And in 2010, this was deemed the world's largest public art event of its kind. So we're in the Guinness Book of World Records. And the great part about it is it's grown ever since. So actually, this one unofficially is the largest in the world right now. It's the most murals and the most artists we've ever had.
My dad and I, we would walk around the Chalk Festival for years, like way before. I started in 2011, so way before that I was like, I kind of want to do it. It looks really fun. And I've been drawing since I was 9, but I thought that like only professional artists can do it. So it's actually really fun. It's like a Father's Day kind of tradition, so it's really enjoyable.
The one thing that I actually love about chalk art is how it brings people together, families, communities, and I think that's one of the best things that we could actually get our communities, because art is a way of expressing yourselves, ideas, and the fact that we could bring everybody together and just share that is just the best moments in life that you can never get back.
It is amazing having my father here with me. He is the backbone of everything that I do. And my family is a big part of like getting the foundation done. If they weren't here, I would not be standing here and alive because I'd be so tired. They help me lay down the background and actually grit it out, and like their moral support. My mother feeds me because she knows that I will not eat if she doesn't tell me to. But yeah, having him here is good, especially on Father's Day. It's like special. It's our thing.
It's a great bonding experience just to sit and talk while we're doing it and just spend time together. I've done it with my daughter every Father's Day the last few years, and now the chance to do it with my son just means a lot to me. So I hope he continues and wants to do it again next year. Do you think he'll want to do it?
Yeah, I really want to do it. It's been really fun.
So the Traffic Engineering and Operations Division of the Department of Transportation facilitates the safe and efficient movement of people and goods throughout the city of Pasadena. So what that means is we have both engineers and planners that work on everything from evaluating requests from residents and businesses for traffic investigations, for red curb, installation of crosswalks, installation of stop signs, and also installation of traffic signals. Our operations side also includes neighborhood traffic management. So we work with different neighborhood groups through the working group process to really determine what their needs are to reduce cut-through traffic, and all of that is under the umbrella of the Traffic Engineering and Operations Group. So the Traffic Management Center in the city of Pasadena is located in the Pasadena City Hall in the basement, and what we do here is we operate the traffic signals throughout the city. So we have 330 traffic signals that are all connected to the Traffic Management Center. We monitor the traffic flow throughout the day to determine if there's any areas that need to be adjusted for traffic flow throughout the city. A couple things that we work on throughout the day is if there's construction or other activity on street that requires us to extend the signal cycle to get people moving through or around those bottlenecks, especially during the peak hours of traffic, is what our engineers here do. So there's 3 engineers and the TMC, and we work from 7:30 to 6:30 to cover those peak periods. So the Traffic Management Center uses a lot of computers and software to manage the signals, but a lot of the day-to-day operation is adjusted through people, through our engineers that work in the TMC. So to keep the traffic in Pasadena moving, we use lots of different technologies, from communication to be able to get data from all of the traffic signals in real time, to be able to bring back video feeds, but also to be able to detect vehicles that are on street. So our intersections have video detection at many locations that will determine that there's a vehicle approaching the intersection and provide additional green time for those vehicles. Right now, where we are with the traffic management centers is kind of in a migration stage. We've upgraded all of our infrastructure as far as communication goes, and we're bringing up a lot of our traffic signal controllers to a higher level of technology to be able to better manage traffic flows based on what we call high resolution data. So identifying exactly when a vehicle arrived at the intersection, if they're arriving during the green or the yellow and the red, using that data to be able to provide better traffic flow along corridors. So a lot of it is data-based, but also being able to share that data. So big data and other vendors that like to be able to push this data out to car manufacturers so you can see on screen in your vehicle where the bottlenecks are, and part of the route guidance system knowing that if a left turn is going to take you 2 minutes, then there may be another route to take that'll be less impactful. So a lot of The future really relies on the data, and that's what we're trying to build up to right now. So as we monitor traffic conditions throughout the city, if we identify there's an area where there is a specific impact, either a one-time impact or kind of routine impacts throughout the day, the first thing we do is take a look at what that impact came from. Is it construction related? That's just the short term that'll happen for one day or a few days. Is it a long-term project that's going to be construction that's happening over months at a time? Does the impact come from the freeway? Is traffic congestion or something that's bringing vehicles off the freeway and onto the streets? And depending on what the source of that additional traffic is, if it's something local because of construction, we as a department provide oversight on the traffic control plans to see how that traffic can move around that event. Then we can manage or provide solutions for that.
Happy birthday, Pasadena. Happy birthday to you.
We're celebrating Pasadena's 133rd birthday. Very important event. We celebrate it every year here at the Pasadena Museum of History. And as you can see, the people are out and the kids are frolicking, and this year it's a Western theme, so it's very appropriate.
Going with a Western theme this year, so we have all sorts of things happening. We have the Wells Fargo Stagecoach here, we have gold panning, we have a wonderful family of Western entertainers that are doing trick roping, and they're showing people how to line dance, and just everything Western.
Pasadena is somewhat unique in Southern California in that it has history to celebrate. And it's very focused on celebrating its history. We're very aware of the progress we've made over the years. Not all of our history is necessarily things that we're proud of, but I think for the most part, we've been very successful. It helps to build a community identity when you remember where you've been, and it also helps to focus you in terms of where you'd like to get to. I think eating the cake is always my favorite activity. But truly, the very best part of these events is watching the kids. You know, I'm fortunate to have 7 grandchildren, so when I see these kids running around and having a good time, it always warms my heart. And we're able to provide a great deal of different kinds of activities for kids. But getting them in here and getting them into the museum, the Pasadena Museum of History, is great. And there's a very kid-friendly exhibit here now, because there are all kinds of toys and carousel animals. So this is a great event for the children of our community, and so that, I think, is my favorite thing.
In early July, the Rose Bowl Legacy Foundation hosted 2 events highlighting inspirational women at the Rose Bowl Stadium, a venue recognized for many poignant historic moments. This included the first one-day Women's Empowerment Symposium, where high school seniors and college students heard and gained insight from female business leaders about their professional and personal successes.
The biggest thing, and it's true no matter what you do, is remaining really curious and always being open to asking lots of questions and understanding that there's different ways to do things. There isn't just one right way, but staying open is really important.
Let me tell you a little story about getting to know your professors. I was in a calculus class in college, and the exams were killing me. The mean on the exams were like 45-50%. So I started going to my professor's office hours every week, and I noticed she had a picture on her desk of a baby. And so I asked her about it. Turns out she just had her first kid. It was her first quarter back from maternity leave. And every week I ask her, how's your baby? How's the childcare? How's the daycare situation? I totally ended up with a B+ in that class, and let me tell you, and not because of my exam scores, okay? So that relationship I built was worth something.
it's important for you to advocate for yourself because no one else is going to. And the worst thing they can say is, no, but come back and talk to us later. And then your response should be, tell me what I need to do in order to earn that raise if they feel that you're not ready. But if you don't advocate for yourself, no one is going to advocate for you.
The second event was the dedication of a statue commemorating the 20th anniversary of the epic 1999 Team USA Women's World Cup victory at the Rose Bowl Stadium. Soccer icon Brandi Chastain and Team USA were there to unveil the monument that celebrates a significant moment in female athleticism and gender equality in sports.
The city of Pasadena recognizes the importance of the Rose Bowl, not just in the history of Pasadena, but in the history of sports and entertainment. So many iconic moments in sports and entertainment have happened here at America's Stadium. And the event we celebrate here today is at the top of the list. Yeah.
Today, July 10th, is the 20th anniversary of the historic 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup Championship match here at the Rose Bowl Stadium in front of the largest crowd ever in the United States to see women's soccer.
Before a record crowd of 91,000 people, a group of American women, pioneers in their sport, took to the Rose Bowl field and defeated China in a match for the ages.
The U.S. posted a 5-4 shootout victory over China, with penalty kicks deciding what 120 minutes of scoreless soccer could not.
The intention was never to be standing right here. It was to just enjoy the game, playing, teammates, and to have one heck of a time. As I was approaching from the center for the fifth kick towards the ball, that Rose Bowl was absolutely dead silent. And the only thing I could hear was, "Don't look at the goalkeeper." And so I never lifted my eyes, and she admits that because nobody really looked at her, she was unable to get a read on what we were going to do. And as you know, the ball goes in. When I see it, sometimes I think maybe it's not, but it does every time. And then the celebration, and you asked, like, what does it feel? What did it feel like? What was that moment like? I've explained it with insanity, because you can't possibly understand what a childhood dream feels like until you actually live it. And the response you have are raw emotions.
We in Pasadena will always feel the 1999 World Cup Championship game is part of our history. Today's dedication instills the significance of women in history and how women like Brandi and her teammates have built a foundation for future generations to feel empowered and dedicated to personal growth and development.
We are here at the Playhouse Block Party, which is a fantastic celebration of arts and culture here in Pasadena. The Pasadena Playhouse and the Playhouse District have come together to have a free party for our community. It's been going on since noon, and it will go on till 10 p.m. tonight. And it's been really a fantastic day. Thousands of people so far have been here. We have two different stages, a family stage. You hear behind me the Chinese lion dancers presented by the San Gabriel Valley Chinese Cultural Association. But it's just been a great day showing different community members performing arts and culture, and different groups that they have arts and crafts projects from all the rich and diverse cultural organizations in our great city and beyond. As well as later tonight, we have a big disco with people literally dancing in our streets. Really a wonderful event for our community to come together and play together and dance and laugh and sing and have a great time.